Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. Today I'm going to tie a Hemingway rubber leg pheasant tail nymph. The hook that I have in the vise is a 2 extra long size 14 nymph hook, and I have a 2.4 millimeter bead on there, copper bead. I'm going to use black thread, and this is 8/0, and I'm just going to get that base down there a little bit, and then I'm going to tie my rib in. And the rib is extra fine copper wire. And then you can use your rib, hold your rib at that 45 to get those touching turns. And the rib is on the far side now, which is actually pretty good, because we're going to, with pheasant tails, you always wrap your rib, counter wrap them. Now we're going to take our pheasant tail center, and I'm going to take about 1/4 of an inch off the stem. Going to tie them in. We want the tail to be about 1/2 to 3/4 the length of the body. I like to bend it back and put a couple of wraps right on top of that there, just to ensure that it's going to be secured. Now we bring our thread up to the front. I'm going to twist my pheasant tail slightly, and then I'm going to wrap it. It's actually starting to untwist as I'm going. And I'm going to bring that right up to the bead itself. Go ahead and trim away that excess. Now we're going to take our rib, and like I said, we're going to counter wrap it. I'm going to put one underneath the tail, and then come on top. And we're going to make some nice palmering open spirals, and we're going to come all the way to the top. And with that extra fine copper wire, you can just go ahead and break that right off. Now I'm going to take the Hemingway's mayfly nymph rubber legs. These are black and these are small ones. And this has a tab on it. We're going to tie it in forward, but also you can see there's a little bit of a ridge after that. I'm actually going to nip a little bit of that ridge so that it doesn't sit back as far, because they tend to be a little long. And you can see it's getting a little bit of a curve in there. Now I'm going to just go ahead and trim off the excess of that tab. You can just tie in the tab itself, and it'll be all right. Just have them back a little bit further. Now I'm going to take more pheasant tail center, and this is going to be our wing post. Then we're going to tie that in. I'm going to fold it over and see if I need to go back any further. Let me use my bodkin to show you. I'm going to fold it over, and I can see that the back wing pad there is all going to be covered over, so I got to get it back just a little bit more, because I'm going to get the back of that wing pad Now while I'm here, I'm going to take Peacock Herl. I'm just going to trim off a little bit of the tip just to ensure that I'm not using any brittle stuff. I'm going to tie them in there. It's even okay if they rotate a little bit. Now I'm going to fold over my legs and I'm going to tie them in. Actually, just to get them secured, I'm going to go in between the first couple sets just to get them held down there. Then at the front you could kind of give it a figure 8 there so that the legs go down. You'll get to figure out how close you have to wrap your thread to the legs to make them do what you want with them. And I'm going to tie down that little pad, that back pad part. Otherwise it will hold the wing pad up. There, we bring them back to the eye, and we're going to wrap these. I'm going to turn it sideways so I can see. You can move the legs, just don't pull on them. And we'll get it right to the front. And I'm going to tie that off. Keep that thread tight so they don't unravel. And about 3 wraps is plenty. Put a wrap in front. Take your poke and snip and remove the excess. Now we're going to take the wing case. We're going to fold it over, and it's pretty, I got a pretty good amount there. And I'm going to hold them there in place and tie them in. It's a good idea when you're doing wing cases, kind of hold them on the top so they don't rotate on you. Then I'm going to put a few wraps in front. Now I need my scissors. A little bit too much work for the poke and snip. We'll take the whip finish. Poke and snip that thread away. We'll take some head cement, and I'm not going to clean it off real well. I'm going to put head cement on the wing pad down to the bead. It'll soak right in. After I put it on, I just touch it and give it a squeeze there. And here we have a Hemingway rubber leg pheasant tail nymph. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors. Let them know I sent you. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. If you'd like to purchase this or any flies that I make, go to etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And if you don't see it there, just let me know what you're looking for and we'll figure it out. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.